myself. My name is Elfina Gonzalez. I'm a wellness coach inspiring women to create and become the best version of themselves. And I am here, as you know, with your girl, Cindy, my amiga. And now we're going to be working together. I'm so excited for that. She is a spiritual alchemist.
Thank you so much for this is how I am. I'm super raw. I'm super, what you see is what you get. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for for your friendship, for your energy, for your time. We've known each other for a little bit now, and it's just been really natural getting to know you, talk to you, and I really, really respect your business and what you're doing in your community. So a little bit about myself. You said, tell me about myself. What do you guys want to know? I'm such an open book.
And I think that's what's so cool about us, because even we are helping women. We're helping women create. And I think this is where you have helped me, like really just go within and discover like the light, the magical, the bruja in me, the magic in me. And I love that. And I love talking about it, because it's like I'm being more like, it's okay to feel a certain way. It's okay to feel, for me, honestly, is this discovery of like sensuality, like somos mujeres, and it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to feel a certain way. And that's really like why I want to talk about it tonight. Having that conversation with you is, how do we start embracing that? So I'll tell you, Cindy, something that I started doing this year is like learning more about how to, I'm all about self-care, and that's what I promote, and that's what I teach women, really honoring their bodies, making themselves a priority. But one of the things I've adapted this year, and because I feel so good about it and so confident, I started passing it out to other women. And that is self-care of like the intimate area, our flowers, what I call it, like really like taking care of it and honoring it, and like really embracing the beauty, the magic, the miracle that it creates.
Yes.
And so that's the conversation I want to have with you, because I know like you are all about that. What do you call it? The power of what?
The pussy power. I call it the pussy power. Well, you see, like our Yoni, our sacred portal, could do if we learn to start to embrace it and heal it.
And I love that, Cindy, because honestly, I mean, being a very confident woman, being very sensual and sexy myself, but it was like, what do you like when you talked about the power of the pussy, and I'm like, oh my God, que feo, But literally, because why? Like, especially as Latinas, like you don't talk about that. You don't say those things, you just don't. And honoring that, like, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to like be like, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you, because I feel like we need to bring more light into that. We need to bring more awareness and more allowing women to be free, to be like, yes, it's a temple. Yes, it's our sacred space.
Look at our period as something so sacred. Even the blood itself is sacred. There's people that use blood in like bruja work for magic. We're having an echo here. It's the Zoom. Yeah, so it's starting to reprogram and reteach the women how to connect with our body, that sacred womb. And so it's something where
I love that you're talking about the period, because something, as I was getting therapy a few years back, something he was helping me with is really embracing my feminine energy, because I tend, and I think you do too, work a lot with our masculine energy.
Oh yeah.
And so she said, one of the things you can do to start embracing that and just be more feminine is respect your cycles. What does that mean? So she's like, so how are you? What do you do? What's your rituals when you're on your period? I'm like, I hate it. And it holds me back. It slows me down. Here's me working with my masculine energy, right? I'm about getting things done. I'm about production. And mentally, physically being on my period, like it slows me. I'm like this, you know? So she's like, it's only a week out of the month. I'm like, girl, a week, you know how much money I'm losing in a week? I don't do anything, you know? So she's like, you gotta honor, like, no, if you want to work, but slow it down. Honor your body. If you need to take a nap, take it. If you need to just, you know, chill, take a day off, especially like on your heavy day, take the day off and disconnect and do not feel guilty about it. That's how you start embracing your feminine energy, your power. Girl, I started doing that, and I stopped being so mean to myself about like, period, yeah, I have no time for you right now, you're slowing me, you know, bad energy. Like, no, to your point, it's the time that my body's getting ready to create miracles. You know, I've been so blessed that my body was able to create 3 miracles, and those are my children. You know, what a blessing that is.
That is a huge blessing.
And you know, and that's something that I came aware just barely this year, Cindy, when it came to like, dude, my vagina, my womb is a miracle worker. And then 2, I mean, talking raw girl, you know, girl conversation here is it provides pleasure, not only for me, but for the person you know, my partner.
I love that you said that, because you were literally in my fucking head. I was gonna say, aside from the period, aside from creating miracles, like this whole entity, I talked about this in the healing workshop. It's not just an organ, it is a whole entity. It's a whole persona. And the more that you start to connect with it, you start to see like it has its own life. It's an actual person. And the fact that it creates pleasure, it creates life, it's amazing. And the whole thing with the pleasure, I think it's like a good point to bring up, because a lot of women have not even discovered the possibilities with pleasure. And you know, taking it even further, you know, self-pleasure is a huge way of moving energy. I feel like a lot of people think it's like, oh, it's ugly, like self-pleasure, like, oh, I don't want to touch myself. It's a sin. And I'm like, bitch, are you stressed out? Go fucking play with yourself. You're gonna feel better. Like, give yourself 5 minutes. You're gonna release so much energy. It's not just you know, a thing for our husbands or for our men. And that's something that's a whole other conversation we could have another day. But like, self-pleasure is one of the best ways to start to self-heal, and to not only for your womb, for yourself, for your heart. When you're going through a lot, one of the first things that I tell the girls is like, get on a practice to self-pleasure yourself, and don't just lay there in your bed and go touch yourself. Make it a ritual. Go take a bath, put on your candle, put on a sexy something, and like, get to know your body on a deeper level. That really, at the end of the day, your yoni is connected to your intuition. And that is like literally the signal to our intuition and to creation. Not only like birth. To me, like, the yoni is a portal of creativity. I call it the empress. My yoni, my womb is the empress. She is the creator of life. Physical, projects, everything. Our womb is not only just to bring kids out to life. I personally, one of the things that I love to do when I'm in a creation mode or I have new projects, I literally pleasure thinking about how amazing that project's going to turn out.
Shut up.
That's called
man, that's crazy. I never heard that
manifestation through self-pleasure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole ritual you could do with it.
I love
and
that.
It's like literally you're expanding that energy to, you know, like it's and it works. It really does work. Because could you imagine, like, you know, you're having your moment and de repente, right before you climax, you think about, oh shit, like this beautiful thing that you want to create in your life, and you're putting all that energy that you're about to explode on, boom.
Oh man, that's powerful. That's deep, girl. That's like, ah.
And could you imagine doing it with a partner? That's another level.
Next level. I mean, right now I've started this year, which is, the Yoni detox is really a lot, like when it comes like to the ending of my cycle is cleansing, right? Just cleansing versus other things that, first of all, we never do it. Two, not even after birth, not even after our cycle or anything, but really I start with the meditation with the Yoni egg inside of my body, inside of my womb, and it's crystal, so it's in there. And then I meditate with bringing light to what it is, to really being present, my temple, my sacred space. I honor you. So I've been doing that, Cindy, and I'm like, it's crazy what I have been creating, the energy of like sensuality, like the goddess feel, like celebrating it. And before I'd be like, I'm gonna be real, like it's kind of not cute, Now it's like, no, it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful flower I've ever seen, But when you do, because why? Because I'm honoring it 2 to 3 times a week. When I really sit down to meditate, I do it for like 3 minutes, be present to that, set my intentions with breathing, and then I go into Kegel exercises. And even sometimes, honestly, I keep it for like half an hour when I do my booty workouts, when I do bridges, I do like, it's all muscle movement down there. And with the Yoni egg inside, girl.
So I want to ask you, I'm curious, when did you start with the Yoni egg? When did you start with like experimenting with the Yoni egg? And like what Yoni egg, which crystal what was your first Yoni egg crystal, or which one?
I only have one, because I just started it. I got it like at the beginning of the year, but I started with the Yoni detox first. And I got some oils, and then like I started studying about soaps, like using more herbs to cleanse it, to take care of it, because I'm like, we shouldn't be putting, and we would, I know as a child or growing up, I would hear like, no, don't like put soap inside, all the stuff, and you just ignore that. But then when I started really doing my research on like ancient ways of how to treat, like how the goddesses would really self-care for their yoni, then to me was like, I am a goddess. So I need to self-care like they did back in the days. And this is the reason why we have cancer, why we have all these things that they didn't before. So now I want to bring that back for myself. So the detox, like I started playing with, like I said, with oils, with the detox, and then now I moved on with the Yoni egg, like really doing the Kegel exercises with really meditating. So it's the crystal, it's the pink one, which is like the love.
Yeah, the rose quartz. Yeah,
the rose quartz. Yeah.
Yes, that's so beautiful. It's so good it's so interesting that you're saying that, because it's a really good, like, you have an amazing practice, by the way. That's an amazing practice. Like the Yoni steams, like something that back in ancient days, like the girls used to do all the time, especially after like partos, after births, after all of that. Yoni steams were all created, by like the curanderas, the people, the women of the village.
Right.
They would mix the herbs, and they would put you in the hut, and they would like cover you up and cleanse your yoni. And that's a beautiful practice. That the Yoni steams are really powerful, and to me personally, I recommend them once a month. And that's like, to me, that's just, it has to, just because for me, and even though I don't, like, right now at the moment have a partner, but especially if you have a partner, highly recommend it. Aside from that, your pussy's gonna smell amazing and feel great. It's more about cleansing the energy. To me, it comes down to the energy. And another point that I love that you made is like not putting soaps and stuff down there. That's a huge point, because we're so quick to want to mask our natural pH balance. And it's almost like we were taught, like back in the days, like douche, use the douches and put on these and put, like, no. For me personally, I'm a huge believer can no, like, do not do that. And one of the things that I'm really proud of in my personal yoni is my scent, because of how long it's taken me to cultivate me loving my body, I know from like day 1 to day 30, how, like literally like the scent of my vagina.
No way. I want to get to that point.
And
That's
girl, I'm like, I smell good. You know what I mean? Like oh, not only do I smell good, I taste good. You know, like I taste good. You know, like when you're ovulating, oh girl, when I'm ovulating, I'm like, when you're like, when I used to have a partner, I would be like, no, sin vergüenza, I would just be like, bah, like just everything lights on, todo, like, like that's how proud I am of my yoni, and that's how proud I am of my scent, because I take care of
so
it.
when you're ovulating,
that's the best. Like that's for me. That's when my yoni smells the best, when I'm ovulating. And right before I get like 4 days before I get my menstruation, I could tell the scent smell, like it changes. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get it. And then of course, like after I get after like the last like more like real heavy day, it takes like 3 days to kind of get back into like there's like a week where it's just like kind of like normal, like a normal scent. And then after that, that's when the ovulation scent. So literally, like I know, like
oh my gosh, that's powerful.
day to day, like how and I know, like, oh shit, I'm about to get
my. So you see a lot of this stuff, it's like unknown, right? First of all, like I'm just barely tapping into this, and I'm like, whoa, so much is changing. So this is why I want to talk about it, even though it's still uncomfortable, to be honest with you. And I told you, like, oh, but I feel like, no, I have to talk about it, because to your point, we have a platform. We have women that follow us and that really listen to what we have to say. So it's our sole responsibility to share what's happening, what we're doing, and what's working for us, and bringing more awareness. And to that, I'm like, whoa, now, Cindy, you're bringing a lot of a light to me, like all these things that you're so in tune with yours. And I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be there. So imagine like us talking about it, spreading it on and passing it on to other women. How many beautiful, powerful yonis will there be out in the world?
I think it's time. It's all about timing. I feel like if we were having this conversation even 2-3 years ago, it would be very like, oh, what are you talking about? But I feel like like from a spiritual standpoint, the last 2 years have been pivotal in the spiritual evolution of everything, from our mind, our body, like the fact that people are starting to recognize and use the word soul so much more. That has been a reality, for this lifetime and past lifetimes. The soul is the soul is the soul. But we have been so programmed to not believe in the stuff that we don't see. And that's kind of going, linking it back to the yoni. It's like, it was just an organ for people. It was just to have sex and to co-create. But now we are starting to awaken to the fact that this thing right here, this organ, it's sacred. It's magic.
It's magic.
And we have to start to plant all these seeds in these women to start to realize, like, let's start to do the deep healing, because it's, it goes beyond from like the scent and it goes beyond that. It goes like, there's so much people with so much deep trauma from like molestation and sexual abuse and rape and abortions, and then you start to link it back to our ancestors, like nuestras mamás, nuestras abuelitas, que nunca tuvieron, they never had an opportunity to heal that, because all they used it was like for having kids. Could you imagine having 9-10 kids and all that?
And also to provide pleasure for the partner, no pleasure for them.
So it's just this huge, massive awakening. And I think that it's only the beginning. I feel like it's only the beginning of us planting seeds for women to start to honor that, because it goes deeper than that. Once you start to once you start to go through the trauma and embracing the magic, it literally starts to, like, you are literally starting to connect with your womb, and you could see it in people's energy, how you carry yourself. We're so disconnected from it. And I talked about that in the womb healing, where like it's irregular periods, heavy periods is literally a disconnection from your womb.
Wow.
You're like your mind, your body is completely disconnected from your womb. It's literally like your womb's telling you like, I don't know about you. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want because you don't acknowledge me.
Oh
so I'm gonna go ahead and have I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Like se revela. It's your womb telling you like, bitch, pay attention to me. And I mean, of course there are physical ailments, but I always tell people when I started the womb healing, I was very direct. I am not a doctor. I am not anything, but I will share the story that I had with my womb and how I've started to heal it, what the gifts that it has gifted me. And I talk to them to the point, like, I don't take any birth control. Zero. That's how much I know my womb. Wow. Zero.
I love that. I love that. And as you're speaking, what's coming up is, something that I work with the girls, because again, everything started within me, is in order for you to have a physical transformation, you first have to go within. You first have to heal. Because if not, you can lose the 10 pounds, you can lose the 20, but you'll sabotage yourself to going back thinking, no, I don't deserve to feel this good. I don't deserve to look this great. I got to go back to my old self. It's self-sabotage. So this is why I'm so passionate for the inner healing first, the inner transformation. Yeah. And I'm saying this because as you're speaking, you talked about womb healing. Like you gotta heal it first. And when you heal it, then that's when the honoring naturally starts taking place, because now you are connecting it. You're connected to it, then you start honoring. And then now that's when you start embracing yourself, just the sensuality, the God is within. But you cannot feel goddessy if you feel ashamed of it, or you feel like you did something bad, because maybe your past, your history, your childhood, something happened that you are no longer connected to it.
Yeah.
I love that, Cindy.
Yeah, it's a really deep transformation, and it takes a long time. It goes way deeper than the womb. It goes all over it starts at the womb, and then it starts to kind of expand everywhere else. That's why I am so passionate for the work that I do, which is like my core is work is trauma healing. I see a lot of women with a lot of trauma, and to me, I love seeing women come out of that trauma, get empowered, and wherever that empowerment takes them, that's the beauty. Like once you start to trust yourself, because it comes down to trust, like trusting and knowing who you are. Once you start to trust yourself, like the sky's the limit.
Oh yeah,
the sky is the limit, because if you don't trust yourself and you don't trust that impulsiveness, that passion, we're so conditioned to, growing up, in a lot of the Hispanic families, ¿qué vas a hacer? You're not going to do nothing. Oh, whatever, like that whole like negativity, because not because they don't want us to grow, but that's how we grew up. Like, we were not encouraged. It was like, we had like, go to work, pay your bills, and that's it, day by day. But we're so much more than just the day by day. I feel like that's, if anything, that's killing our purpose, our passion. And the more that you start to trust who you are, that's when you start to manifest and like, trust that, that you're supposed to meet that person. Oh, that I'm supposed to, it just, things start to align. The universe, I believe in the power of manifestation. I believe in the universe. The universe will start to gift you based on where you vibrate. Oh, yeah. And that's a whole thing that goes with the womb, that goes with your everything. And it's a deep process of self-trust and self-love. And a lot of people like, I kind of roll my eyes. I roll my eyes with the self-love thing, because it's so, it's such a popular word right now, but not a lot of people really know what that means. Right. It's a self-love for me, self-love is an embodiment of embracing your essence. And a lot of people think that, oh, because I'm gonna,
get a massage.
Yes, that's self-love. No, bitch, that's not self-love. Self-love is do what feels right to you. You know, you don't want to go to that party because you no quieres andar con las chismosas. Don't go there. Yeah, like you have to cultivate and enhance that essence within you. That's self-love. You know, that to me is self-love. So, you know, the massage, that's all extra, but it starts with the inside, and that's all connected with the womb healing. That's all connected with,
and that goes back to trust. You know, trust is when there's a calling in your stomach, which is your instinct, and you start listening. Wait, it's telling me something. You listen to it, you trust it, and you move forward with what it's telling you. But you know, and that's just with working on yourself and like allowing you to really listen to your body, listen to your heart, listen to your womb, you know?
Yes. And I get incorporating into my lifestyle, eating better, you know, losing weight and all of that. I want to part of why Delfina and I are connected, because we want to bring healing to the community, to both of our communities. And the womb healing is going to be something that I'm going to actually be providing every month. And it's going to be it's a series. I'm going to start, it's going to be layer work, but the womb healings are powerful. They consist usually of the way I did it last time was such a beautiful format. It was a combination storytelling, like a monologue with my story, very vulnerable, with a lot of just passion. And then I would jump in and out of healing. So I would do like these like mini meditations. So I basically like grab the people's energy, attention. I talk about my story, and then I jump in, like close your eyes, you know, like touch your womb, you know, all of that. So it's very powerful. It's not just, it's me telling my story, and then I also go into providing a deep healing meditation. They're just beautiful. They're just beautiful. And then at the end, I have an open format where I allow the woman to share their experience, you know, share what they felt, what came up for them during the meditation, if anything that, you know, with through sharing my story, what came up, what came out. And it's a community. So people sharing how they're feeling is very healing for everyone.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's pretty much how the womb healing went.
I'm so excited because one, personally, I've done one-on-ones with you, and then you've also, you know, hosted a workshop for me, and that was powerful. That was transformational. I can only imagine what this is going to be as well. So I'm pumped because again, healing it's the first step to truly honoring your yoni, honoring your whole body, you as a woman. So excited. I'm so excited, not only for us, but for everyone that is going to be part of this.
Yes, I'm excited too. I feel like we're talking, I don't know what day was that, we talked Monday, Tuesday, and we were just having very candid conversations como mujeres, you know, about our journey, our story. And I think at the end of the day, you know, aside from, you know, what we want to bring to the community, it's we want to just empower. And I don't want to say hate, but you know, the word empowerment is so overused, but want to activate women to start to drop into their ability to create whatever they want to create. And the only way that happens is through starting to do the work. I call it layer work. It's like an onion.
It is.
And I always tell people, the people that work with me, it's like, if you're feeling called to work with somebody, Delfina, me, whoever, trust your instinct. Even if you don't know what's going to result of it, just know that you're there for a reason. And one thing I know for sure, you know, just in, you know, knowing you for the time I've known you, and this is what I told people, is like, why I really appreciate you is because, you know, we started off as just two women, you know, understanding what we're doing as women, as business owners. And you've never once told me like, join Herbalife. Nunca, 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 nunca. If anything, you have brought me into your community to help your community to do providing services. And this was my choice. I came to you. I was like, hey, I'm ready. Let's do this. So here we are, you know, it's like, que sea lo que Dios quiera. Like whatever we're meant to co-create, que sea lo que Dios quiera. You know, whatever however we're meant to help other people, que sea lo que Dios quiera, you know, like, I respect your energy. You're a fucking powerhouse. And, you know, yo soy una loca. So,
no, I mean, this is why we love each other, right? Because we're just so in alignment. We have amazing energy. And again, we're going to co-create together. En lo que Dios quiera, I am sure so much magic's going to happen.
Yes, thank you.
So many transformations. That's what I'm so excited for, you know?
I'm so ready to see women start to do the deep healing, start to nourish their temples, because this is why I'm doing it. You know, to me, it's like, gracias a Dios siempre, like, thank you, God, for giving me the energy to help others, you know, because I use a lot of my energy. Like, thank you, God, for giving me the energy to help others, you know, where they can't help themselves at the moment because they're hurting or whatever. But now I feel like, imagínate, could you imagine if I was like 20 pounds lighter and I had
more energy.
You know, and I'm so, like, like in my, like, and then I think about it. ¿Será que Diosito no me quiso ser tan hot? Porque
girl, like, no, girl, no.
Like, imagine if I was like, if I'm already out there with half of my butt out in the ocean. Imagine if I was 20 pounds lighter. ¿Qué va a ser de mí?
No. No tiene remedio.
Yeah, so thank you. I'm excited to join the group, and like I said, like, I'm inviting my community, like whoever wants to join me. I'm doing it just with, like, you know, a day at a time, and you know, for me, it's all about it working with my lifestyle. So I'm ready to give this a try. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Yes, so thank you for your trust, and thank you for your friendship, and now your partnership. So
thank you. Gracias, ladies. Thank you for staying on. A ver qué va a pasar. Síganos.
All right, thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.